I'm Jen Carlman from InLab News. We are here the second day of the demo conference fall 2010. I'm joined by a very special guest, Andrew Mason. He is the founder of one of my favorite companies online, Groupon. Andrew, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I know there are some people, which is hard to believe, who don't know what Groupon is. So why don't you explain it to them?
Sure. Groupon is a website where every day in about 250 cities around the world, we're featuring one great deal on the best local stuff to do, see, eat, or buy. So if it looks like a cool business or a cool experience, it could be a restaurant or theater tickets or a spa or skydiving. You just buy the Groupon and then you take it to the business and use it like cash. It's pretty much as simple as that.
And I've bought the Groupon coupons, and it's a lot of times they are for really good deals, like a buy one get one free spa, or a spa's worth $100 and you sell it for $50, correct?
Hopefully all the time, not just most of the time.
Hopefully all the time. So tell me, this company is relatively new, Andrew. Tell me where your inspiration was to start Groupon.
Well, interestingly, we actually started out as a kind of like a social platform for doing good and causes, and it was a way for groups of people to start campaigns and come together and either donate money towards something or take some kind of collective action, solve some problem that one person can't solve alone. And one of the ways that people were using it was for group purchasing. So if we can get 10 people together, then we can all get a discount on a subscription to this magazine.
Sure.
And it seemed like an interesting model, so we kind of spun it off as Groupon, just as a side project. And before we knew it, it had taken over.
Yeah, hugely taken over. Tell me where the company is at right now with regards to just popularity and revenue.
We launched in November of 2008 in just one city, Chicago. Today, and about 400 people on our mailing list. Today we have about 17 million people signed up for Groupon, getting the daily deal every morning. And we have about 2,300 employees across 29 countries. We've saved consumers over $500 million.
Wow, in just about 2 years. That's incredible. What does it feel like for you to be so young and have created this idea of, and you started, like you said, really trying to do good, and now this company is this multi-million-dollar deal? Well,
it mostly makes me feel humbled to have the team around me that I do that's so talented and couldn't have done any of this without. I think largely, though, Groupon also speaks to the new reality that we're in with the way the web has matured, and companies can just grow faster because the barriers to the frictions of sharing things are so much lower. So I'd like to think that us being so fast growing puts us in the pantheon of companies, but I mean, I kind of look at us somewhat like the NSYNC of websites. Like we're not the Beatles, you know.
NSYNC, really?
But we're breaking some records, but we're not the Beatles.
Maybe you'll be the Beatles one of these days. All right, Andrew, you were on a panel, or you were presenting today, or speaking here at Demo. So many of these guys, startups, they're bootstrapping most of their ventures. What is your advice to them when they're facing so many obstacles, and you've had so much success, of what you can bring to them to give them some inspiration?
People ask me that, and there's a lot of advice out there that in books and stuff that a lot of it turns out to be right, like launch your product quickly and so on. I don't know what I can add to that that was unique or I feel like isn't written about enough. Maybe just stick to what you think is important. That's really profound.
Andrew Mason, everyone, stick to what you think is important. But you know what? I mean, that's good advice, because I think
it's great advice.
Do you see sometimes where guys get maybe sidetracked because they try to do it all, or they try to continually change their product?
I like the fact that you're trying to turn that into something.
And well, I'm trying to, I'm trying to add credence, to what you're saying. That I interview a lot of entrepreneurs, and I think sometimes they do that. That they try to kind of rework their business model to fit what everyone else wants when maybe they end up losing focus on what they originally thought was important.
Well, I mean, there's a degree to, that's why this is terrible advice, actually. Not only is it like the most trite thing anyone can say in the world, it's not even accurate, because there are times when you have to re-examine what you thought was true. I mean, there's a fine balance between, you as an entrepreneur, you want to be stubborn, and you want to, I mean, when we were doing The Point, like a more rational person would have given up and quit because it just wasn't going anywhere, and there was no signs that we could resuscitate it into something else. But we took a very different way of looking at it, and had to, during that process, let go of a lot of what we originally thought. So there's a balance between being stubborn and being open-minded and trying different things.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to master.
Yeah, the balance, I think, is a good word. And lastly, Andrew, let me just ask, where do you want to take Groupon? What are your plans for the next few years?
We are going to try and be the fastest shrinking company of all time. So I'm going to see if I can get it back down to being worth $0.
Oh, really?
2 years from today.
Okay, and why is that?
Just for the challenge. Okay. It's like we have so much going for us. That seems like the hardest thing to do.
All right, well, we'll check back with you in a couple of years.
Okay.
Andrew Mason, founder and CEO of Groupon.com. Thanks so much. I appreciate
My
your
pleasure.
time.
Thanks.